A very good afternoon to you. This is TV Sapienza transmitting on Star Times Channel 260. Today is Thursday, the 20th of February 2022. My name is Joe Igbo. In our news headlines this afternoon, the Speaker of the Anambra State House of Assembly, Mr. 20th Feb, has demanded the immediate recapture of the two escaped suspects in the murder of the member representing Onitsha North 1 constituency, late Mr. Justice Azoka. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Lateef Fagbemi San, has described the illegal dissolution and taking over of local government administration by some state governors as a treasonable offense. The Edo State House of Assembly has relieved all political appointees attached to members of the House of their appointments with immediate effect. And the House of Representatives has called on the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to ensure that innocent traders in recently sealed drug markets in Onitsha, Lagos, and Aba are not unfairly affected. Now the details of the news. The Speaker of the Anambra State House of Assembly, Mr. 20th Feb, has demanded the immediate recapture of the two escaped suspects in the murder of the member representing Onitsha North 1 constituency, late Mr. Justice Azoka. Describing the escape of the murder suspects as shocking and unfortunate, the Speaker, in a press release by his Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Emma Madu, said the development casts a shadow over the otherwise commendable and professional manner in which the police had been handling the investigation. Mr. Udeze urged the Anambra State Police Command to declare the escaped suspects wanted and publish their full names, addresses, and photographs to enlist public support in tracking them down. The National Judicial Council, NJC, has rejected the removal of Justice Maurice Ekpambese as the Chief Judge of Benue State. The Council, in a statement signed by its spokesman, Kemi Ogedembe, stressed that the Benue State House of Assembly was bereft of the statutory powers to recommend the removal of the CJ. It maintained that under the 1999 Constitution as amended, only the NJC was vested with the powers to appoint or discipline erring judicial officers. The Council maintained that the purported removal of the Chief Judge by the Benue State House of Assembly cannot stand. However, the Council disclosed that it had received a petition that was written against the embattled CJ. It said until the petition is fully investigated, Justice Ekpambese would remain in office as the CJ of Benue State. Meanwhile, the 13 members of the Benue State House of Assembly who were suspended yesterday by the House for opposing the removal of the State Chief Judge, Justice Maurice Ekpambese, have rejected their suspension, declaring the resolution of the House as null, void, and an attempt to subdue democracy and intimidate them. They maintained that the House erred because it lacked the powers to suspend members beyond 14 days as provided in Order 10, Rule 73 of the House. Addressing the media in Makurdi, the lawmakers insisted that the House failed to give the Chief Judge a fair hearing and also denied them fair hearing before arriving at its resolutions. Speaking on behalf of the 13 lawmakers, Mr. Douglas Akia, representing Makurdi South constituency, flanked by his colleagues, said they were suspended for standing against the arbitrariness, unlawful, and tyrannical practice of the House of Assembly. Akia described their purported suspension as an attempt to subdue democracy and intimidate them. The federal government has announced a ban on 60,000-litre fuel tankers from operating on Nigerian roads effective March 1, 2025. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority said that no truck carrying more than 60,000 litres capacity of petrol will be allowed to load in any depot across the country from March 1st, 2025. It also added that no truck with over 45,000 litres in capacity will be allowed to load products by the fourth quarter of 2025. The authority made this known following a meeting with critical stakeholders. According to the regulatory agency, this is the first measure to mitigate the continued petroleum tanker accidents and explosions, which has led to the loss of lives in the country. In January 2025 alone, over 100 lives were lost and property worth millions of naira destroyed in petrol tanker explosions. No fewer than 98 persons died in a petrol tanker explosion at Dikko Junction around the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway in Niger State on January 18, 2025. The petrol-laden tanker was said to have exploded when some residents of the area went to scoop its content after an accident. Scores were burnt to death, while several others sustained various degrees of burnt. Just 1 week after the Niger State incident, another petrol-laden tanker exploded along the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, killing not less than 11. The tanker was said to have suffered brake failure, tumbled, and had its contents spilled, erupting in an explosion. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has described the illegal dissolution and taking over of local government administration by state governors as a treasonable offense. Fagbemi stated this during the opening ceremony of an event organized by the Nigeria Bar Association (NBA) in Abuja. Represented by the Director of Civil Appeals in the ministry, Tijani Ghazali, the AGF noted that despite the judgment of the Supreme Court and the provisions of the Constitution guarding against the interference of state governors in the running of local government councils, some governors and their state assemblies continued dissolving elected local government councils without following the provisions of the Constitution. He also accused the Attorney General and Commissioners for Justice at the state level for not giving legal advice to their governors and called for a stiff penalty against any governor who continues in such an illegal act. Some state governors have been at loggerheads with some local government chairmen. The minister said that it was only the legislative arm of local governments that could sack or place council chairmen on suspension. He said that under the current dispensation, local government chairmen cannot just be removed or suspended by any governor without following due process of law. Fagbemi stated that state houses of assembly lack the power to suspend or remove council chairpersons. You are watching TV Sapientia on Star Times Channel 260. The news continues shortly after this time out. Please don't go away. Welcome back to the rest of the Sapientia News Bulletin at 1 p.m. My name is Joe Igbo. The Edo State House of Assembly has relieved all political appointees attached to members of the House of their appointments with immediate effect. The Speaker, Blessing Agbebaku, announced their sack during plenary in Benin yesterday. Agbebaku noted that the decision was taken collectively by the 24 members of the House, adding that the political appointees sacked will be paid their February salary. He listed the appointees to include special advisors or SAs, senior special advisors or SSAs, among others. The Speaker said the appointees were appointed by the members upon assumption of the 8th Assembly in June 2023. The Delta State government has launched a whistleblower policy aimed at empowering citizens to report substandard and poorly executed projects across the state. The Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Charles Aniagu, announced the initiative at a press briefing in Asaba, stating that the move aligns with Governor Sheriff Oborowori's commitment to ensuring value for money in public projects. As part of the initiative, residents can send text messages, WhatsApp messages, pictures, and videos of substandard projects to a dedicated whistleblower hotline at 091 6997-8305. Anyanwu emphasized that the policy provides an avenue for Deltans to participate actively in governance by holding contractors and government officials accountable. The commissioner warned that no contractor would be spared, regardless of political ties or personal relationships with those in power. Anyanwu assured whistleblowers that their identities will be protected, stressing that the policy is designed to expose individuals or agencies attempting to shortchange the state. He urged any contractor who feels that the allocated budget for a project is insufficient to communicate officially instead of cutting corners or delivering below standard projects. The House of Representatives has called on the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to ensure that innocent traders in recently sealed drug markets are not unfairly affected. The House directed its committee on NAFDAC to investigate concerns over the blanket clampdown on the markets, stressing the need to safeguard the livelihoods of legitimate vendors. The resolution followed a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by Victor Afam Ogene, Labour Party, Anambra, who urged NAFDAC to exercise caution in its enforcement operations. While commending the agency's crackdown on counterfeit medicines, Ogene noted that the recent sealing of drug markets in Idumota, Lagos, Ariaria, Aba, and Onitsha, Anambra State, had caused financial losses for many legitimate traders. He emphasized that while removing fake and substandard drugs from circulation is crucial, innocent business owners should not be made to suffer unjustly. He expressed concern by reports that NAFDAC sealed the affected markets and denied the traders and their leadership entry, while its officials proceeded to break into shops, cutting away pharmaceuticals without owners of such shops being allowed to witness the operation and take inventory. He said such a brazen approach and unilateral break-in and confiscation of the goods from the markets without allowing the leadership of the markets and the owners of the goods to witness the process would make accountability difficult and also dents the integrity of the operation. He said some traders and point of sale or POS operators were forced to leave significant amounts of cash in their shops during the sudden raid and closure of the markets over the weekend, with no clear means of recovering their funds, leading to frustrations and bewilderment. To end the Sapientia news at 1 p.m., a recap of the major headlines. The Speaker of the Anambra State House of Assembly, Mr. Somtochukwu Udeze, has demanded the immediate recapture of the two escaped suspects in the murder of the member representing Onitsha North 1 constituency, late Mr. Justice Azoka. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has described the illegal dissolution and taking over of local government administration by state governors as a treasonable offense. The Edo State House of Assembly has relieved all political appointees attached to members of the House of their appointments with immediate effect. And finally, the House of Representatives has called on the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to ensure that innocent traders in recently sealed drug markets in Onitsha, Aba, and Lagos are not unfairly affected. That was the Sapientia news at 1 p.m. On behalf of the editorial and technical crew, I am Joe Igbo. Good afternoon, and thanks for choosing TV Sapientia.